Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be going over the pairs that came out in April, or at least all the gotcha pairs. So that consists of Poltergeist, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and Shiny Serena. So this is going to be another video, essay style video. I expect this to go on for about an hour-ish. Long again, probably a little less because I don't think I have as much to say about these pairs. So just pop up something to do in the background, and let's just hop right into this. So we're gonna go over Lily and Poltergeist first. They were released at the tail end of March, right? Skills, they have Focus Group 9, 100% chance of raising the crit rate of all out synchronized by one stat rank when the user's Pokemon uses a move. So this is a pair that can max out everyone's crit rate in 3 moves. That is something that's very valuable. A lot of sports have crit raising stuff, but this is one that does it while doing something else. Granted, it might not be as quickly as, for example, Duskinwar, who has Dour Hit All, but at least this can be used to top off someone's crit rate while doing something else. So let's say you're using her with Sceptile, right? Sceptile has Dour Hit Plus. You use that. You use his TM, but while you have that one missing crit rate, you just use Astonish with Poltergeist, and Sceptile's crit rate is maxed out. It's something that's very helpful for speedrunning, critical sustainability in general. This is very, very good. Team Fist Bump 1, 20% chance of restoring the HP of all its pairs when the user's attack move is successful. So once again, as you are attacking, as you're buffing crit rate, you have a chance to heal. That is very good for yourself, but also if your allies are taking like a Swift or an Earthquake or a Rock Slide from the enemy Pokemon. So Team Fist Bump, it's a low percent chance, I'll give it that, but it's still a very good passive to have. Team Charge Tank 9, 100% chance of restoring the HP of all its pairs when the user is hit by an attack move. So you want her to be the main tank for this reason. As you're taking hits, you're giving everyone 1 HP regen tick. So that's like extremely valuable. So you're effectively taking less damage than you actually are. Like that, like what she does is just super good. So when we go over the rest of her kit now, she has Astonish, as I said, forward to miss power, 30% chance to make the target flinch. So you have the ability to max out everyone's crit rate while fishing for flinches. You don't have to do anything else. You're just going for flinches and you're providing that critical support. That is extremely valuable. You have Potion, so that's more healing on top of her passives. X Special Defense All raises the special defense of all its synchronized by 2 stat ranks. So her tanking is more especially, because if we go over her stats here, right? Let's assume you EX her because she's a support. Her defense is 308, special defense is 352, so it's a little bit higher. And her HP is per 660, so that's still pretty strong. Then it's Tea Time. Activates one of several effects at random. Raises the special attack of all its special. Raises the special attack of all allied sync pairs by 2 stars. Applies gradual healing to allied sync pairs. So one of several effects includes Ghost Zone at a 5% chance. You're able to get Reflect, Light Screen, Critical Guard, Move Gate Acceleration, and I'm very sure that there's more that I'm forgetting, but I don't see that here. But the most important ones, in my opinion, are the screens and Move Gate Acceleration. You're not going to get a Ghost Zone. It's not reliable. You don't pull this unit for Ghost Zone. You should pull on Giratina for that, if you actually valued it. No offense. But yeah, so she's a very good special supporter, special defender, and she has gradual healing to stack with Team Fist Bump. So you have a guaranteed heal for yourself, but then Team Fist Bump is a chance for another HP regen tick. All while going for flinches. So she is a very easy to use unit. Like, she can top off out special attack, she can top off crit, she provides a lot to the team. But to then sync 300 base power, no additional effect. You would use her for the sync buff, obviously. Now let's go over the grid. 1 out of 5. I consider this a part of her base kit because this passive is so good. Post Haste 4. 50% chance of raising the user's speed by 2 stat ranks when it's hit by an attack move. So while you're still taking hits with Team Triad tank, your natural higher special defense, you have a chance to raise your own speed. So you're your own speed support. Granted, this is only for her. Her base speed is about 330, so it's not the best. It's not the best speed set in the game, but the fact that she gives herself speed is super valuable. Because that is like one of the only things that this pair was missing. The only thing that's really missing is it's not for all allies. And the move gauge isn't guaranteed. If the move gauge acceleration was guaranteed, I would say this isn't as necessary. But the fact that it's not guaranteed, but she can get her own speed by some form is super good. Lith prevents users from getting paralyzed. As a tank, that is fine, all because if someone throws out an AoE Thunder Wave, because it hits you first, then Go Viral activates, Lith cancels out entirely. So that's nice under the right circumstances. You got Stalwart, which is fine. Interference immunity prevents the user from being flinched, confused, or becoming trapped. That is perfectly fine. Stat, claim 30% chance of leaving an opponent that attacked the user paralyzed when the user is hit by an attack move. So, you just have a chance to paralyze. Granted, I don't find this very valuable because I don't think any ghost types really benefit from this. The only thing that I can think of that really benefits from this is if you're using her with N and Zekrom, but you have another way to max out N and Zekrom's attack. That's really the only instance I can think of because she's her own critical support. She can flinch. So that's still valuable for a team, period. But the process feels a little weird here, not even gonna lie. But it's perfectly fine. Like, you can get it away with running it, not running it. It's not a big deal. Then the max out grid, you get T-Time Critical Squad. This is helpful for speed runs. Of where you don't have the extra time to use Astonish, or you can't use Astonish 3 times. So you have to use its T-Time 1 or 2 times to top off an ally special attack, but to then get the extra few Astonishes to max out their crit rate. So it's helpful for speed running. Well, I say speed running, but you guys know what I mean by just faster clears in general, trying to get that pre-sync as soon as possible, stuff like that. Astonish aggravation, I'll always value aggravation. I think this is great. TM all ramped up, so you can max out an ally special attack from 0 to 6 with this. I think this is super valuable because I don't think there are that many pairs that can actually do that. Go from 0 to 6. I know Sabrina can, but that's tied to a healing skill, so you technically waste the healing portion of it. I know Chingling can, and I'm not entirely sure of who else can actually do it. So this is something that's very valuable. TM move propulsion. Propulsion is whatever to me because it's random. X special defense all barricades, so you can max out your own special defense, so you don't have to worry about the extra +2 from anyone else or dying from the extra +2. NPR is whatever. Potion refresh, potion master healers, another potion refresh. Potion stuff is nice if you have nothing else to really get in the grid. You don't care about certain stats. It's like, hey, when in doubt, potion. Potion's always valuable. And Revenge Boost 9, when you get hit, move gauge goes clunk. It just heals 1. So you're your own speed support, move gauge support with a chance for move gauge acceleration. Crowd control via aggravation. Your allies' critical support through and through. You have an insane amount of healing in this kit. Like, this unit, I've seen this unit duo Ghost Week stuff with Garatina. I've seen that. I've seen this unit duo. I forgot who it was with, but this unit is just so bulky, so much healing. You don't need to worry about much on top of crowd control. Just, there's so much that this unit can do. It's actually insane. If this unit were to ever come back, is she a must summon? I say yes. This unit is definitely worth it for the support EX, crowd control, healing, literally everything I mentioned. She does all this stuff very well. Like, and now the other special costume unit that rivals this in some ways is Jasmine and Stila. Do I think Lilia is better than Jasmine? Personally, I might have to say yes. just because I think Lily offers a little bit more, whereas Jasmine offers a little bit more offensive support in the form of special defense down. Whereas Lily, it's more crowd control and more healing, whereas Jasmine is just okay. Okay, so you're a special attacker. Let me get 1 or 2 flash cans in for you. Then you could do damage. This is okay, so you need a special stat topped off. Okay, that's fine. Oh, these people do a lot of fucking damage? I got you. Take the hit. But then when she comes out of the Pokeball, it's like, do you like jazz? So that's enough with Poltergeist. Very, very good unit. So let's get into Sonya now. I will say, with Sonya, this unit both surprised me and disappointed me at the same time. Sly, if you're watching this, you are entirely the reason why. So the skill is very fast. She has access to Hit the Gas 5. Increases the amount of move gauge slots needed to use attack moves by 1 and powers it moves. Now, I explained how this works in the Nidoking video, but I'll explain it very briefly here as well. So as you know, Mallow and Sereni, they also have Power Whip. They're a 3-bar move. Sereni's a 4-bar. This is why. Now, the 5 in Hit the Gas 5 means that it's a 50% base power increase, not damage. Normally that means damage. So that's why you see the base power go up to like 211. Whereas Mao and Serena, let me put that here actually. Mao and Serena's power whip goes up to 141. So that's a big difference here. Oh god, I gotta find you again. There. So yeah, Hit the Gas 5 is a super powerful ability when it comes to types that don't have someone like N and Zekrom, where it's like, oh hey, I have a very meaty base power move. For types that don't have that, it's very beneficial. Power Flux 9, this is the big catch. The forward the move gauge when moves are selected, the more this powers up moves. Now, exactly as I thought, this passive made or broke this unit. Now, because of this, her damage highs are higher than I thought, but her damage lows are also lower than I thought. In CS, this is nerfed. She is nerfed in Champion Stadium, technically speaking. Now, when I said that the 5 here stands for base power, not damage, it typically means damage. I should also emphasize the same for Power Flux. The 9 here does not mean it's 90%. Power Flux is calculated very differently. Do I know the exact numbers and the exact calculations? Not off the tip of my head. All that I do know is that Power Flux 3 as a passive, when it is fully activated, is a little bit more than 30%. So this, if this is a direct X3 translation of that, this should be a little bit over double. That is why her highs are higher, her lows are lower, because it's a much bigger range. Same thing goes for Sync Power Flux. It does not emphasize a number because this is a naturally assumed X2. At least I'm assuming. I haven't seen the numbers. If someone could prove me wrong with that, by all means. I'm not entirely aware what her numbers are. All that I know is that it's higher than I thought, but also lower than I thought, if that makes sense. Now, how Power Flux itself works, not numbers, but how you activate the most possible, is you see the move gauge at the bottom. It says 4 when moves are selected. That's how it used to work, word for word. That's how it was changed since Red release, Red and Charizard. So how it used to work is that it was how many bars the move consumed. So obviously the more you have, the more you're able to do, right? It was changed to how many bars are left when you select a move. So a 4-bar. So 4-bar in the past used to be a little bit greater than 20%. That's why Power Flux 3 Red was used over CS2 Red nowadays. And Sneak Nuke Grid was not used because Haymaker was not as easy to activate because Signet Suit Blue did not exist. Hilbert's Grid did not exist. It just wasn't that easy to set up. You would have the sync first, then get a stack up to +6, then you have the nuke. So it wasn't very efficient. So people had no problem running Power Flux 3. Now, how it works now is that Red's Blast Burn would get the benefit of only 2 bars. So that's way lower. That's why people switch to CS2 Red. And for Sereni, it's the same thing. And that's why in CS, Power Flux is just downright not good. Unless if you have free moves. So how it works... So it is when you press the move. How many bars are there when you press the move and how many are left? Right? So if you have 4 bars in CS and it goes all and you use power up, goes all the way down to 0, you get the benefit of 0. You don't get Power Flux at all. Now she has access to free moves in her grid. This is a common theme with this unit. I'm gonna get into this in a little bit. Free move, you use it, okay, good. You have the full benefit of Power Flux. That's what you're meant to do with this unit. If I'm incorrect in any of this, feel free to correct me in the comments, because I am very sure I'm understanding this correctly. Now, let's get into the moves. As I said, she has Power Whip, goes up to 211 base power, 4 bars, no additional effect. This hits very hard. Razor Leaf, 76 base power, credit slam more easily, 3 bars. You use this to pair with Defense Crush, as you see here, whatever. So you get everyone's defense down for a sync nuke. X attack, so she can get her attack at +4. TM raises used accuracy by 2 stat ranks, raises the used crit by 3 stat ranks, and raises physical move next by 1 stat rank. So you get your attack up to +4, crit +3, and accuracy up to +2, so power up is not as big of a deal. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. And sync move, 300 base power, no additional effect. Okay. This is where things get nutty, right? So, strikes typically don't get 300 base power. She's a non-mega, so it makes more sense. 300 base power, you have access to sync Power Flux that doesn't cost any move gauge. So you can get the full benefit of Power Flux every single time off of a base 300 move. This is why I had my eyes on this unit. Her syncs can hit extremely hard. Now let's go over the grid. Here's where my concerns start to come up. So right off the bat, she has more power up powers and power up accuracy, razor leaf accuracy. So accuracy is always good to have. Extra power is good to have because this just goes higher and higher. So that's great. That's fine and dandy. 2 out of 5, you have access to Speeding Sun, Insult to Injury, Locked On Sync, and Power Up MGR, which is fine. Locked On Sync powers up the user sync move when the accuracy is raised by 30%. So you have Power Flux 3, which... No, not Power Flux 3. Sync Power Flux, which is about X2, right? You have Locked On Sync, which is another 30%. That's fine. Because you raise your own accuracy either way, so you're guaranteed to activate that. Speeding Sun, so you compare her with the Sun support, like Leafeon with Grass type skill, so you have more attack. And on the topic of her attack, I completely forgot to mention this. Here was the concern. She has 328 attack, 310 speed. So Speeding Sun with this, that's fine. But her base attack is a little bit lower. This is what makes or breaks the unit. For the most part. There are some exceptions. But in her case, it definitely broke her a little bit. Because of this, you need to use Power Flux correctly. And you need free moves. There is no way around this. You need dupes if you want to avoid the attack down issue. Now, she also has Insult to Injury. The more the target's defense is low, the more power the user's moves. So when the enemy is at -6 defense, this is a full 30% increase to Power Whip. And Razor Leaf, I guess, but whatever. So you have someone with Screech, Leer, whatever, and just drop their defense to -6, and you get you get a 30% bonus. Not bad. It's just a little bit harder to set up, and it's more support reliant. Now, when we get into 5 out of 5, this is where things get funny. So you have Defense Crush, so you can lower their defense all by yourself. So Insult to Injury is autonomous. You can spam Razor Leaf with that just to prepare your sync. You don't need Insult to Injury in that case, but the sync will also hit harder the lower their defenses. You get Solar Flare, so you get the three Sun passes. So passives, not passes. Shit. So with the 3 Sun passives, Leafeon is her best friend if you choose to run those. Because Leafeon will also give her 440 attack, which that helps a lot. But Sword Flare, 50% bonus to Sync when in Sun, and Shard Sun, 30% bonus to move damage when you're in Sun. So you can get... Well, there are more passives. I should go over that first. Haymaker. This is an X2 when your attack is +6. So you have Sync Power Flux, you have Lockdown Sync, you have Haymaker, and Solar Flare for your Sync modifiers. That is about 280% if my math is correct. And that's an approximation because I don't know what the Power Flux numbers end up actually being for the Sync. So it could go about 300 for all I know. That's an approximation. But that's pretty high for a base 300 BP move, and there's no terrain here. We don't have grassy terrain yet. She doesn't have access to an innate 50%. With grassy terrain, I feel like this unit's you need dupes reliancy goes down a lot. Because most of these are 30%. Terrain's a free 50, so you can bump it up to 80 if you have any dupes in her. Then you have Furious Brawn. The more the user's attack is raised, the more positive the user's moves. So +6 attack, you get another 30%. That's a common theme. That's a common thing with base moves. It's always 30% unless if it's specified. X-Attack Berserker, so she can get her own attack up to +6. That's nice. 2 for 30% chance of applying free move next to the user when this Pokemon uses a move. So she can give herself free moves. Now, what do I think of this unit? Really, I pretty much said all my thoughts. She hits higher when you use her correctly than I thought, but she also hits lower when used incorrectly than I thought. She needs these dupes to help cushion the need for Power Flux. But if you have these modifiers with Power Flux, she is easily the strongest grass DPS in the game. If not, Sceptile is more brain dead, more easy to use. No shame using that. Leafeon, easy to use. No shame in that. Those are just my impressions, what I've seen of Serena from my friend and what I strangled him to do. But that's neither here nor there. Now we're gonna move on to. I'm gonna save Zone for last. We're gonna go Tweedledee. We got Escavalier. And a Escavalier. So, passives, we have Charge, Affliction 9. Has a 100% chance of raising the user's crit rate by 1 stat rank when the user's Pokemon or trainer uses a status move. So, this unit can max out his own crit rate easily. So, you don't need to worry about a critical support for this unit. Mighty Affliction 2. 30% chance of raising the user's physical move next by 1 stat rank when the Pokemon uses a status move. You see where we're going with this. Rising Tide. The more the user's stats are raised, the more positive the user's sync moves. We see a pattern here. Moves. Mega Horn. 226 base power, 4 bars, 85 accuracy. This fucker hurts. Iron Defense raises the defense by 2 stat ranks. 2 bar. Sword Dance raises the user's attack by 2 stat ranks. 2 bar. Safety First applies move gate acceleration effect to the allied field of play. Raises the user's accuracy by 2 stat ranks. Applies super effective next to the user. Raises physical moves next by 1 stat rank. Victory Joust. Bug Impact. 300 base power. No additional effect. You have Rising Tide to thank for that. Stat wise, 430 attack. 288 speed. 288 speed is whatever, because you have move gauge acceleration. So if you have someone who generally buffs speed, you're fine on move gauge for a bit. 430 base attack is nothing to sneeze at. Like, oh my god. And yeah, Mega Horn, just with as high of base power as this is hurting. So let's go over the purpose of this unit, right? So obviously you have Swords Dance and Iron Defense. 3 Swords Dances maxes out your crit rate. So fully self-sufficient. Iron Defense, it's really extra, but it would just activate extra chances of Mighty Affliction too. The goal of this unit is to buff himself up all the way up for a Rising Tide. So plus 6 attack, plus 6 defense, your accuracy, or whatever additional things you can get. But then you use your physical move next, your super effective up, whatever, for a super powered Mega Horn. This unit is very good burst damage. And from what I saw, even sustainable damage. He doesn't need all this extra stuff to do good damage off of Mega Horn, especially when we get into Bug Zone. But Bug Zone makes it so he can do that, and even I think he can do it without it, but Bug Zone just makes it easier, obviously. So this unit, like, he's better than Guzma without question, but Guzma's still fine for physical bug. Would I recommend this unit? If you need bugs, sure. Like, why not? Now, let's get into the grid, right? 1 out of 5, you have access to Unbending, Snow Shelter, Sand Shelter, and Headstrong. So your 2 main stats can't be dropped. Snow Shelter and Sand Shelter, they're kind of whatever. It is what it is. Now we have Vigilance, Sharp Entry, not really needed in my opinion. Unless if you need the extra crit rate and you don't have the extra time. Brawn Sync, raises the use sync move when its attack is raised by 20%. See, because sync modifiers are so much easier to come by in higher amounts, I don't think this is all that worth it. Because you have, like, Haymaker, for example, Sword Flare from Sonya. There are higher multipliers than this. And even Lock-On Sync was higher than this. So, this is kind of whatever to me. Granted, he's guaranteed it if you're going for a sync nuke. But it's just whatever to me, honestly. Now, 3 out of 5, I didn't mean to click that. We have Tough Sync, raises use sync power when defense is increased. So you want to use both of them together, obviously, for 50%. It's fine. Personally, I don't care too much about these abilities, but you can definitely get away with using them. It's perfectly fine. You have Tough Cookie. The more the defense raise, the more powers up the user's base moves by 30% total. I like this more than these because base moves, the general consensus is okay. It's mostly 30%. Then you have Shielding Strikes, Berserker, and Charge Afflictions, so it maxes out their stats in 2 instead of 3, and it gives them 2 move gauge back. These you don't need to touch at all. The only one I would consider touching is Swords Dance Berserker, but that's only if you really, really need to be fast. And even then, I don't think it's all that necessary still. You can easily have someone else work around it. Mega Horn accuracy's up to 15, so you are guaranteed to hit Mega Horn unless if they have evasion, shit, whatever. You have accuracy, so you don't even need to get the accuracies on the grid. Attack plus 30. Attack is always great to get. And yeah, that's really it with this character. Like once again, he hits super hard from a burst damage standpoint, from a sync nuke standpoint, and from a damage consistency standpoint. He is just our best bug striker at the moment. No, I would not complain if you get him in the future on a dual banner, if we even get these units back. But yeah, if you have Guzma, you don't need him. Now, we're going to go into the last unit. This is going by a little quicker than I thought. We have Tweedledum. Ingo and a Celigore. So, passives. Team Vital Haste 9. 100% chance of raising the speed of all sync by 1 star rank when the Pokemon or trainer uses a status move. So, you are the speed support for everyone. Granted, I don't think you can get up to +6. No, you cannot get up to +6, but it's useful for a speed top off and general speed because his speed is super high, 488. So you don't really need to worry about maxing out speed with this character. but it's still nice. If you can manage to max that, it's nice, but not needed because move gauge is not an issue with this character, and you'll see why. Defense crush 9, 100% chance of lowering the defense by 1 stat rank when an attack against the opponent is successful. So you use infestation, quick attack, and you just lower their defense. Bug shift, no type moves become bug. This is for quick attack, obviously. Quick attack, 112 base power. Quick move, so you have 3 uses of it. No bars. This is why speed isn't that big of an issue with this pair, and whatever little you get goes a long way, because that is move gauge for your allies off of your speed stat. But Bug Wish, this alone makes this unit a must summon. Changes a zone to a bug zone. Bug type moves are powered by 50% in this zone. So all zones, terrains, and weather are an innate 50% damage, with the exceptions of hail and sandstorm. They don't do anything. That is why you see passives like aggravating hail and surging sand, because sand and hail do not provide anything when it comes to damage bonus, so they have to rely on passives. So zones are all tech. They've been coming out left and right. If you've been playing for a little bit, you know this, and you know my thoughts on it, especially on them being on limited units. So that makes you think that these guys won't come back. But yeah, Bug Zone already makes this unit worth summon. I can end the video here, but I'm not. I'm going to go over the rest of what it does. Infestation, 24 base power, 2 bars, and leaves the target trapped. This is fine. It buffs himself. It buffs people who have Poke Trap, like Mascarian, for example. Although she traps herself, so it's kind of whatever. You have Bug Zone. It's a buffer. Bug type skill. Do I recommend it? No, but it's something. It's not worth noting, but it's something. Coming through, raises the user's evasion by 2 stages, raises the accuracy and evasion of all its sync powers by 1. So this unit can raise accuracy and evasion for everyone by 2 total, unless if you get an NPR, of course, and he gets his own evasion up to +6. So you can use this unit as an evasion tank. That's not a horrible idea. Then Express Line Bug Impact, 240 base power. This move's power increases when the target is trapped. That's a 50% multiplier, I think. I don't remember off the tip of my head. I'm very sure it's 50, but Bug Zone still applies another 50. There's that. But then you have Tech EX on top of that. So he can get about 150+% for just a 1 out of 5 unit. That's not bad, honestly. Now let's get into the grid, right? You have quick attack power, infestation power. It's honestly whatever. It's nothing worth mentioning. Now, if you guys saw the second video, this is what I have now. 2 out of 5, right? You have access to Poke Trap, stationary target, insect acceleration, fast runner, evasion can be lowered, it is whatever, and burst in applies critical hit when you enter the field. If you're just buffing, but then a sync nuke down the middle, that's fine, whatever. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion, but... So, stationary target, because you only have a base 98 power move, it's not that necessary. Infestation's only 21. You're not really going to take advantage of this. Poke Trap for specific comps, sure, yeah, that's fine. Insect acceleration, with whatever speed you get, this scales. So, I think that's perfectly fine. Now, one problem with this unit that this part of the grid addresses, 5 out of 5, is Mad Strength. He does not buff his own attack. You need someone to take him from +0 to +6 to use him as a reliable sync nuke, or at least most of the way there. That's the one part of this unit that frustrates me, is that sync nuke, okay, they want you to go for Mad Strength, while spamming quick attack to lower their defense, and which that reminds me, quick attack defense crush 9, so you can stat defense crushes, every quick attack is -2, so when you use all 3 of your charges, that's -6. Quick attack NPR is whatever, quick attack follow through, applies a critical hit next to the user when it is successful. This eliminates the need for critical support for him, so you could start the fight with bursting so you can start the fight, trap him, quick attack for a critical hit next, then sync. It's an idea. It's not necessary by any means, but it's an idea. TM super prep. So when you use coming through, you give yourself super effective hit next. This is very good if you're using Relentless, Blind Spot. So singles powered up with super prep, with this, with Bug Zone itself, with EX. You can get very high damage with this Pokemon, so that eliminates the need for Snorlax entirely. But once again, the biggest issue with this unit is getting up to +6 attack. Bob and Weave, the more visions there is, the more powers up regular moves. So just like stationary target, but this is also 30%. It's whatever. You don't have high base powers, so I don't think it's all that necessary. I wouldn't go for it. I would focus on the sync stuff if you choose to go that way. Insect Acceleration is always worth it. Quick Attack Defense Crush 9, if you go for 3 out of 5, that's worth it. And yeah, all in all, this unit is definitely worth pulling for when he comes back because of the value of zones. Zones are forever. Whether people like it or not, limited, not limited, zones, terrains, weathers, those will last till the end of this game's life. Unless of course, if they release another better unit that does that. But even then, Gauntlet still makes these units have some form of viability. So, zone, pull for it. That's my philosophy. We don't know when they're coming back. And yeah, that's really going to be it with this video. This was much shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be another hour-long thing, but I guess 40 minutes isn't too bad. So, if you guys pull for any of these units, let me know how lucky you got. Or if you're saving, or if you're pulling for Ho-Oh, same for Giovanni, or whatever's coming out after that, let me know. I am a nosy body. Let me know. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.